All right. Well, the time has come. I will hope and assume that you've already done this process because we've had two showcases, day 7 and yesterday. So hopefully you've published some projects in the past, but if you haven't, if you've been hiding away from it, if you've been running away from it, today we're going to talk about publishing projects, and we're going to talk about a couple of things in that process, as well as what happens next after you've published it. And for that purpose, I just built a small project as a thank you all for all of you. Like I built, as you can see, a small sort of a letter based or notes based app to kind of thank all of you for supporting me on this journey. And, again, just to ask you to ship it, right? Now that we talked about it, let's talk about publishing, right? Very easy flow. You click on this button, right? And the first step you want to do is you want to decide what your app or domain should be, right? And let's try and see if Lemon Drop is available, right? And if it is, the system will save it as such. If it is not, like for instance, Lovable, right? It's probably taken, right? You will be unable to specify, right? So let's go back to Lemon Drop. All right. And call our app that way. And that's merely the first step, right? First thing you want to do is you want to specify the domain. Now, some of you may want to be able to add their own domain. So we're going to publish once first, and then try and associate an existing domain or buy a domain through Lovable for this application. So we're going to continue further down the road, and this is where you can make a decision depending on what type of account you have it with Lovable. So when you are on pro account levels, all of your projects can only be public. But if you upgrade to business, at least, you can limit access to only workspace members. What that means is that if you do this for a company, or if you're doing it for yourself, but you only want yourself and friends or family or whoever sharing your workspace has access to it, then you would limit it to workspace only. I'm going to make my project public, right? And then finally, I just want this project to look and feel the way I want it to, right? And the way it should look for the general public, right? So as usual, when we go back to our lessons, day 15, talking about shipping things, right? We can go to the prompt section, and that's where we're going to do this whole SEO setup of our application, right? I'm going to copy this prompt as usual, being lazy as I am, right? And I'm going to actually, I'm going to click to keep editing just so that I can save all the previous things. So the domain itself, right? I'm going to keep these empty, but I'm going to just continue and acknowledge that the website information is missing, and I'm going to click to publish. But from there, I want to prompt the system for my page title to be Lemon Drop, right? And then the meta description will be, I don't know, whatever. I can even say to Lovable, please write this based on what you know about my app, right? I can ask it to do that for me. And then to add an OG image, I'm going to say generate an OG image instead, right? That represents the app, right? So you can tailor it and add a favicon that matches the brand, right? And then everything should be properly configured. Right? What I'm doing is I'm asking Lovable to do it for me. Obviously, you can do that yourself as well, right? You just click to edit the settings and go to the website info and just type this all in, and then it doesn't cost you any credits. I'm lazy, and I'll rather pay Lovable to be creative on my behalf and just like generate the OG image and everything else. And as you can see, Lovable has that capability of understanding. You generated this as the OG image, and then this lemon as a favicon. Again, full understanding of my app and what I do, right? So all I gotta do is click publish. Again, go to the edit settings, and then acknowledge that if the info is missing, I can just probably refresh. And at that point, hopefully Lovable has already implemented those changes for me that I can then go ahead and confirm. When I go to edit the settings, you can see that now I have a favicon, I have a social preview image that broke for some reason, but I can always click to generate again, doesn't matter. And Lovable will do that for me, really. As you can see, lemon drop, nice, right? I'm gonna click done, I'm gonna save changes, and I pretty much, republish the app at this point, just to save all the publishing configuration. So very simple, very easy lesson for you today. Nothing crazy. We're not building anything. We're just going through this setting, right? Now, we talked about the ability to add a custom domain, right? So let's click on here, and that will take you to the domain section inside of your project settings, allowing you to either connect an existing domain or purchase a new one through our partnership with Ionos. Right, if we go to buy a new domain, then I can, say lemondrop.com. Let's see if it's available. Probably not. I would assume not. If it is, then it will be confirmed to me here. So it's unavailable, right? So, but I can probably find something similar. It doesn't matter really. Lemondrop letters, right? All right. And let's see if we search that. That is available. Cost me $1 for the first year offer. I'm gonna make it mine, right? All I gotta do is just complete this process through an external shop. All right, I've completed the order, right? Just, everybody should be able to do that, hopefully. And, after purchasing the domain, I'm just, basically confirming everything, and then everything gets just set up automatically. DNS changes may take up to 10 minutes, right? So even if I don't see it, like, you can see that it's been purchased and now it's in the verification process. So I didn't do anything here. Like, I just went through, found the domain, bought it, easy peasy. Really simple, super simple process. Now, you may still see your URL in here, but what that means is that your app is actually live on both, right? That it's live on the lovable.app as well as this lemondropletters.com, right? So there's no problem. People will be able to access your application from both places. So simple, easy enough. Again, appreciate you all for supporting me thus far. Hopefully you've learned a thing or two in the process of editing your publishing settings, like getting your URL, defining level of access for your project, and then finally editing your website info, either using prompts or doing so directly. You can upload your own images, generate them with the AI. Same goes for the description, favicon, and the title. There is one more thing, obviously, when you're done with the whole publishing flow, and that is monitoring your traffic. Right now, this app has just been published a second ago, but it already has some visitors in, because guess what? I've been clicking a lot on it. So you can click on this button right here, and that will actually open all the visitor counting, page views per visit, visit duration, bounce rate, everything, right? And show you where the visitors came from, right, in the first place. Now, it may seem a little, but let me just show you my 28 Days of Lovable app. Yay, now you can see the admin side of it too, just so that you understand that there's more to it than what the eye would see, and I'm going to show you everything one day, very soon. But in the meantime, let's look at the analytics together. I mean, it's been going pretty well. A lot of you have been, taking a quick peek at it. In the past 2 weeks we've been together, almost 4,000 or over 4,000 different visitors. A lot of people coming in and out. It's fine. And as you can see, the numbers have been going up and down, which is great. A lot of people from LinkedIn, a lot of people clicking directly on the link. YouTube views mostly go to, some people go to the showcase, some people went to the analytics. People from all over the world, across all types of devices, right? So it's pretty cool to see all of this. And again, I appreciate you guys for all of the confidence that you've had in me. If you hover over these three little dots, there's another parameter that you can look through for your website. That is your website speed. Personally, I've done this many times over. I'm yet to build a website that had scores below 90% across desktop or mobile for all of the best practices, accessibility, SEO, or performance. It's going to take a second to load. When it does, I'm probably just going to acknowledge that the scores are above 90%, which I think is plenty. And as you can see right here, when I shuffle through SEO, best practices, accessibility, the scores are pretty high. Performance is just still taking a second to load, but it doesn't matter. If I switch over to mobile, again, that's going to take a second to load. But if you're obsessing over this, you can see it right here. Again, one of the menus, and you can pin more of these tools or less of them, really depending on what you want to see pinned. So instead of the terminal, you can have the speed right next to the analytics or vice versa, really entirely up to you. Whatever you do, just keep shipping, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.